if you told us a year ago that we'd be sitting here and I guess we'll just cover Big Ten Huddle in 2 swoops right now, but they put out a graphic. When was the last time your team won 10 games? Well, the last time the Indiana Hoosiers won 10 games was 2024. Feels damn good to be on top of that graphic. Gotta say.
Oh, yeah. Feels so good. Feels so good. Because it used to be never. So glad we're not in that Vandy graphic. Shout out Iowa State for getting their 10 wins. Like, I don't know, when the Brock Purdy team beat Oregon in the Alamo Bowl.
They had 10 last year.
It was just, but that was like their first time, like the Brock Purdy team. Because it, like, flashback 7 years ago, it was just Vandy, Iowa State, and Indiana were the only 3 schools to never have 10 wins at football. And it's funny that one of those teams, the only team left standing, is an SEC school. Floating it out there for the Kentucky fans watching that want to continue writing Georgia and Alabama coattails. I'm not even going to say LSU because that's like a miracle season. Everything just comes together. And then obviously at Florida, but that's like Urban Meyer, Florida was almost 20 years ago. So,
yeah, it was basically around the time I started to like really understand the world of college football. I was like, oh my God, Tim Tebow, Alabama's just going to win everything. And that was Kurt Signetti.
Yeah.
It's wild how often you can trace college football back to Kurt Signetti.
It is wild. Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson, Julio Jones, Dante Hightower.
Guys all over it. He's just there in the fabric, which is what made you brought this up, so I'll give you the runway here. Big Ten Huddle, bold prediction. Indiana goes 6-6.
That wasn't the only thing from that graphic I wanted to talk about, by the way.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because the entire graphic
I do understand what the word bold means.
Shout out to I have to shout out the Big Ten Huddle for that graphic because when you're like, there's a lot of times where people are like bold take, then it's like Ohio State wins the title. It's like that's not a bold take. Those were bold.
Those were very bold takes, and it's amazing that they were able to find 10 very bold takes. So I guess we'll start with Indiana will not be good. Well, the first thing says Indiana will not be good, which is so funny. Like around 6-6, like 3 years ago, we had taken that so much
in a heartbeat. Dude. If
20
coming off of 2022, if you're like next year you're gonna be 6-6, like you're going to a bowl game guaranteed. Be like, sign me up.
We're going into the Purdue game 5-6. Sign me up. Like what? It's a dream.
We got a shot. Are you kidding?
It's funny how far we've come. So funny. And then around 6-6, you look at the schedule, right? Like I just don't see a world where that's happening. I'm trying to figure it out. So like, okay, let's try to see what they're looking at. Okay, nightmare scenario. Lose to Illinois, lose to Iowa on the road, lose to Oregon. All of a sudden, we're 3-3. Got Michigan State, UCLA, I guess. And then it's like Penn State. So there's the 6, and I guess there's Wisconsin. We have them at home, and we have.
Well, I mean, if you want to cover 2 more things on that graphic, one of them
breaking my brain because we're talking about teams that we beat by 30 last year that are all of a sudden going to beat us this year when we're playing them at home now, like UCLA, Michigan State at home now. We played them on the road, beat them both by 30 plus. I just don't see
Michigan State also the 23rd hardest place to play in the country, apparently. Nobody told Indiana.
Say that again?
Michigan State was for college football 26 is like the 23rd hardest place to play in the country, apparently. But nobody told the Hoosiers that.
It's Spartan Stadium, but yeah, I mean that place was empty by the third quarter. It usually is. Like Michigan State is supposed to be a very hostile environment. I feel like they've lost a little bit of their gusto since Antonio left, so that Jonathan Smith kind of has to find that back. But it's like I'm trying to look at the schedule and just trying to like manufacture a way they go 6-6. Like
Pitt Hoosier, that makes a lot of sense. He said he watched the episode Indiana Hate was from a Boiler guest on the podcast. That makes sense why another one of those bold predictions
makes a bold game goes 6-6.
No, how about Purdue beats Ohio State? You see that one on there?
Oh my God, there actually is a lot of Purdue going on.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. It makes a lot of sense.
Purdue wants to be us so bad. It's kind of sad, because they're supposed to be the football school. We're supposed to be the basketball school. And it's kind of like inverse right now. It's kind of.
Well, did you see when their last 10-win season was?
When was it?
I think it was like 2002.
Drew Brees? No, it's Kyle Orton. Yeah, that's Kyle Orton. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time to be not
better than never.
Yeah,
that was us a couple of years ago. I mean, no hate.
That was BC times, Brad. That was BC times.
Yeah, I just don't see a world where we go 6. I really don't see a world. Like, I don't think you understand the meaning of the word bold. Like, yeah, that's bold, but I could also find a few other words for it, that I probably can't say, You
can say what I mean. This is an unfiltered podcast.
It's I guess like it's kind of I don't really want to say it.
I called it. I called it nonsense. Like
it's nonsense. I guess like dim-witted.
It's just words.
But
we're talking about it.
Eclectic.
We just spent the last 4 to 5 minutes talking about it, so they won. To be honest,
it's dim-witted. It's asinine. It's retard.
I didn't know you were going that
really dumb. Really, that was the word I didn't want to say.
Bad.
That was the word I didn't want to say. But I was just trying to find.
I thought you were gonna curse or
asinine,
something.
Asinine. Idiotic.
There you go.
Just dumb. Like imbeciles. Like it's unbelievable. And I kind of want to go through this again. Wisconsin wins 7 games. I like it. Like just in a vacuum, like Luke Fickell finds it. Wisconsin could be. They have a serviceable quarterback, Billy Edwards. Could happen. That's Washington wins a playoff game. That's bold as hell. Don't hate it though. Don't hate it, because I could actually see a world where it's like with all the question marks around Oregon and Ohio State, especially at the quarterback position. I'll throw Michigan in that boat. Like there's a world where it's like Indiana, Penn State, USC, and I guess in this scenario, Washington could be the Big Ten teams.
I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet, but I don't know if you've been following along on the channel. We've been there's been NCAA 14 simulations running. The Oregon game dropped.
You sent me that, and I skipped to the end.
So did I.
And game-winning field goal, right? Like 31-30. Fun. I could totally see that. 98 yards to the boys.
Yeah, Mendoza took him down. W
Mendoza,
for Indiana
98 yards
in
to the boys.
Eugene. And then Michigan State, they were down 5 with like no time left, and Mendoza scrambled out of the pocket, scored for the win. Like it was just, great theater, good stuff, obviously, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
Yeah, some other ones that I don't think are all that crazy. I think Ohio State beating Michigan by 10 plus, but then losing to Purdue. I don't know if that's even it's not even like a take. That's just like
that's just
La La Land.
As a Purdue fan.
For Michigan being a dumpster fire, like they're going to start a freshman quarterback, like they could be a dumpster fire and might have to throw in Mike.
Freshman quarterback who's out of shape.
You're seeing all the things about Bryce Underwood being fat. You saw all that. He might be fat. Bryce Underwood might be Jamarcus Russell before he's even in the NFL. Crazy.
Are you saying there's problems to giving an 18-year-old $10 million?
Yeah, there is problems with giving high schoolers $8-10 million. Yes, there is.
Shout out to Bryce Underwood.
Indiana doesn't do that. Anyways,
hey, good on him. Shout out to him. He got the bag. That's what
some of them that I don't think are all too crazy. Like we'll win 50 out of conference game. I'm not going to count.
I don't even know. Hey, how do you count that?
I'm not going to count. Okay, there's 18 teams. They play 3 each. It's about. So they're saying they're going to go about like 50 and 6, 50 and 8, something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Big Ten will be winless versus the SEC in the regular season, but undefeated versus the SEC in the playoffs. I love that because I actually do think Texas might go out and beat Ohio State early this year. I think like I said, there's a world where Ohio State doesn't make the playoff this year. There's very much a world like that. They have to replace a lot. Like a ton. Like I said continuity earlier in the podcast. It's gonna be tough. I'll need to see the machine. It's what, year 6 with Ryan Day, so he's officially like, it's not. There's 0 Urban Meyer guys there anymore. 0. 2 9-3 Big Ten teams will make the playoffs. That's the dumbest. I mean, I don't know how you could say that based on the idea that, like, we saw the playoff last year and it was all 10
teams.
wins. It was the 12 10-win teams to finish the year, and they all got in. Like, it's clear that, like, you have to kind of win 10 games to be considered for the playoff. That's kind of one of the criteriums. You have to win 10.
Well, I mean, if you push to 16 games, then yeah, it's going to be inevitable that 9-win teams get in. Multiple, probably like 4.
Oh, I meant, well, like 6. What do you mean 16 game seasons?
No, it's 16-team playoff.
Well, that's not this year. It's still 12.
It's still 12 this year?
Well, yeah, they can't change the rules right now for this year. They'd have to do that like a year in advance.
Oh, I follow this stuff closely.
Yeah,
I can't believe I don't even understand.
It's okay. Like they can't just change the rules. They had to make that decision before like spring ball started.
No, you're right. That makes sense.
Yeah, they have to. There's laws, right? Sports, right? There's rules, league rules.
Not in this sport.
Yeah. And then the one that I liked the best was there will be 0 head coaching firings. I like this one because I kind
of like that one.
Because I actually like all the coaches in the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten has the best coaching, like, plethora of coaches out of the, like, compare them to the SEC. I'm taking the Big Ten coaches. I just am. I like Loxley. A ton. Like Riley. Like Deshaun Foster. I like Jonathan Smith. I like Jed Fish. Like, those are just middle of the pack guys. Luke Fickell. Then you got Ryan Day. You got Dan Lanning. You got Signetti, obviously. You got James Franklin, who I think is awesome. As much as people like to say, oh, he can't win the big one. Like, dude literally went to the semis last year. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I like that take. No coaching firings. I like that. Let's get a little continuity in this conference. Let's build up. Let's build up each other. Let's not leave anyone behind. Let's just become let's become the 18 best teams in the country play in the Big Ten. Let's make it like that. How do you do that? Like that. Coaching continuity. Bang.
All right. Yeah. Hey, listen, you got to, I don't always agree with their takes, but I do find myself talking about their stuff a lot. So, that tells you everything you need to know about the content they're creating. Another guy who's like that, who I kind of find myself just like gravitating towards his clips, is JD Pickle from On3. I bring this up to say he was commenting on the Tom Castellanos quotes that were coming out. I'm transitioning slightly away from Indiana football before we jump into Indiana basketball, but Castellanos heard what Pavia said last week and essentially said, hold my beer. But Pickle's take on that was like essentially the same way that we've been defending Curt Cignetti, is like Indiana as a fan base needed to be lit on fire, and that's why Curt Cignetti was talking the way he was talking. And if you're Florida State from last year, like, you probably do need somebody in the room talking like that. That being said, was the word choice great? No. Was the quote about him like personally owning the entire ACC last year correct? No. Mm-hmm. Very funny. So it's like I don't agree with 100% of what he was saying, but I kind of do agree with the fact that, like, sometimes you need to shake the tree. Sometimes you do need to kick the hornet's nest.
Yeah, it's not Alabama's saying that week of the tournament. Like, by the time they get through fall camp, like, they're gonna forget about that Dago Pavia interview. Like, they're just
Alabama's. Are you a little shocked? Alabama's kind of become a little bit of a punching bag here in the off season.
No, with Saban gone, you gotta get your shots in. A little jab here, a little jab there. I don't hate it. I respect it. I mean, you still got to respect Bama. I mean, Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a coach. If any school knows that, it's us. How good Kalen DeBoer is as a coach. He's a really good head coach. Obviously, taking Washington to the playoff in 2 years, all the way to the Natty actually in 2 years. Has won everywhere he's been. Even in pro, you can argue even at a higher level than Cignetti, which is why he has the Bama job and Cignetti has the Indiana job. Like, it's does that mean he's better? No, it just means he has a better resume. But yeah, I mean,
Which you
Kalen
could
DeBoer's a
argue
hell of a
that.
coach, and when the school that gets him when Bama fires him 2 years from now is going to be very, very lucky.
You think that's inevitable?
Yeah, because I don't see them. I mean, yeah, unless they win a championship in the next 3 years, like, yeah, he's probably gone. Just like, the delusion of boosters and the fans once they're coming off, dynasties. Gene Bartow, post Wooden, lost 3 games in 2 years, but no natty, got fired. Like, that's just stuff that just happens. Like, look at Indiana basketball. Like, oh, Tom Crean doesn't win in the tournament, so we got to fire him. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense, guys. All right.
Do you want to go to the chat real quick before I have my last point before we jump
Yeah, we'll start
into,
with PK saying, agree with you, Brad. Always tough to replace the legend. It is. It is really tough. And I think you got to like reset your headspace and be like, hey, this is something that will never be replicated again. 7 titles in 12 years. What is that what Saban did? Like 7 titles, 12 years? Like that's not going to happen again. Like, come on, guys.
No, not in this current era of college football.
It's just not going to happen, right? And Pitt makes a really good point. Money's getting tight, so schools are going to be hard pressed to pull the trigger on a buyout. I actually like that point. It's actually a really smart way to see it. But I actually just see it as like the quality of the coaches that are in the Big Ten. Like, I think many schools would be foolish to let go of what they have right now. I'd argue like the weakest coach is probably Barry Odom, just because I haven't really like seen him too much. Right? He kind of flunk out at Missouri, where Elijah Drinkwitz kind of took the ball and ran with it and really kind of outshined him a little bit. And then went to UNLV for a couple of years, just had some okay teams, like not 8-9 wins, and got this Purdue job. And could work, right? Like, it could.
I'm kind of a fan in a weird way, which bothers me.
That's the guy I'm like least, and it's not even because like Purdue. It's more so just because like Barry Odom. Like, I'm just not. I don't know. It's not super flashy. It's not. But neither was Signetti, I guess. And Signetti was like more flashy.
Signetti was flashy. The more
Signetti
you look
was
at
flashy,
Sig,
and no one saw it.
I can't believe that guy was at James Madison. I don't want to get too into it, but I have a lot of thoughts on
Crean sucked.
It's funny that this is the direction that
the team's ranked number 1 in the country. Like,
Brad, I didn't tell you what I wrote about for Voice of College Football, but it's funny that you keep bringing these different things up. Of like, I hit on a lot of these notes.
Who replaced Tom Osborne at Nebraska, went 9-3 every year and was fired? That's Bo Pelini, John. The Bo Pelini trap. Bo Pelini went 9-3 every single year at Nebraska.
Don't get Brad started. Oh man,
every single one, and he got fired. And they replaced him with Mike Riley, who at the time, like, that's the flashy hire. That's the guy you want. He made Oregon State relevant. He got the Rogers brothers, and Oregon State became really good. And we all saw how that worked out. And then they would go Scott Frost, and that failed. Now they're at Matt Rule. And it's like, man, they probably really missed Bo Pelini, don't they? He had him in a really good spot. Him and Zach Taylor were tearing it up in Nebraska. No, they didn't. Oh, they didn't win a championship, so we got to fire them. Like, that's insane. They're playing on college. They're playing the Big 12 championship game every other year. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy.